Mir vun der B2 aus dem Lycée Alin Meirich hun dëse Film gemach fir pu vun de wichtigste Personage vun de Mënscherechter ze weisen. Dobei se Martin Luther King, Mutter Teresa, Malcolm X an den Dalai Lama.
With its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification. One day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today.
Loving Father. He is a loving Father for us all, and always ready to forgive, to forget. He's always there. We don't have to go far to look for him. It's right inside the heart, loving us, calling us, protecting us in tenderness and love. We need lots of love to forgive, and we need lots of humility to forget. Because it's not complete forgiveness unless we forget also. As long as we cannot forget, we really have not forgiven fully. And this is how we hurt each other. We bring the one of yesterday also, and we keep on repeating. That means that we have not forgotten. We need humility to forgive. And that's why it's very important to learn humility. And that's one of the beautiful things that Jesus has asked us. Learn of me because I'm meek and humble of heart. He puts first meekness. Meekness with each other, meekness for our brothers and sisters, and humility with God. And so both this meekness and humility, meekness or love or compassion, whatever you may want to call it, completes that forgiveness. Because before we forgive somebody, we must realize that we need forgiveness. And that's where humility of heart comes. And forgiveness is the greatest presence of peace.
Back during slavery, when black people like me talked to the slaves, they didn't kill him. They'd send some old house Negro along behind him to undo what he said. You have to read the history of slavery to understand this. There were two kinds of Negroes. There was that old house Negro and the field Negro. And the house Negro always looked out for his master. When the field Negroes got too much out of line, he held them back in check. He put them back on the plantation. The house Negro could afford to do that because he lived better than the field Negro. He ate better, he dressed better, and he lived in a better house. He lived right up next to his master in the attic or the basement. He ate the same food his master ate and wore his same clothes. And he could talk just like his master, good diction. And he loved his master more than his master loved himself. That's why he didn't want his master hurt. If the master got sick, he'd say, "What's the matter, boss? We sick?" When the master's house caught a fire, he'd try and put the fire out. He didn't want his master's house burned. He never wanted his master's property threatened. And he was more defensive of it than the master was. That was the house Negro. But then you had some field Negroes who lived in huts, had nothing to lose. They wore the worst kind of clothes, they ate the worst food, and they caught hell. They felt the sting of the lash. They hated their master. Oh, yes, they did. If the master got sick, they prayed that the master died. If the master's house caught a fire, they prayed for a strong wind to come along. This was the difference between the two. And today you still have house Negroes and field Negroes. Yeah. I'm a field Negro.
Acceptance of being Dalai Lama, not necessarily accepted I'm same being of the previous Dalai Lamas. The reincarnation, not necessarily same being, but a being who have like same quality, same potential.
But you think you're the right man for the job?
I think so. Now, more than 70 years, I think I prove it. This is our custom, our formality. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank
I'm
you.
honored.
Thank you.
I'm honored.
Thank you.